Well, welcome to our home in Washington, D.C.
We've been friends for over 15 years and decided to co-buy a house together.
As the cost of homeownership continues to rise, prospective homebuyers are getting increasingly creative. Some are co-buying with friends and moving in together.
When I started going to open houses, I was like, I think we're gonna need some more money. So I said, what if we both bought the house together? And Jasmine was like, yeah.
We've been friends for 18 years. We are practically like brothers.
I co-bought with my now spouse, Julia, and our friends who are also married.
In 2025, about 5% of buyers co-bought with a friend.
I think every generation has had their challenges of getting their foot in the door of homeownership, but I don't think we've ever seen the cost of homeownership be this high.
The current housing supply in the U.S. does not meet demand, with an all-time high shortage of 4.7 million units reported in 2023. This demand has partly resulted in average sale prices surging nearly 40% over the past 5 years alone. But coupling up quadruples the number of affordable listings for prospective homebuyers.
You can suddenly have access to so many more homes on the market than if you were just buying on your own. So even if you're single, you're able to achieve that American dream of homeownership. You're just doing it in a creative way.
Co-buying with a friend, is it a good idea? Should people do it? It is for some people and it's not for other people.
Despite the financial and personal risks of doing business with friends, some experts say this is just the beginning.
Co-buying was not a thing a decade ago. This is something that has been in response to the affordability crisis that we're dealing with. People are finding new ways to make the numbers work and to become homeowners.
So, are we going to see more people co-buying with friends? Aisha and Jasmine were each recently divorced when they teamed up to buy a house in 2025.
So for us, the bigger thing was to have the village.
I live here with my 3 kids.
And I live here with my 2 kids.
So 5 kids in total. It's a lot of fun.
And a lot of noise.
We weren't like first time home buyers. So we both had seen each other own houses and take care of them. We bought the house for $905,000.
We put 15% down and split that 60-40. So we signed a 30-year mortgage, and so that comes to about $6,000 a month, and we've split that also 60-40.
So I make more money. Jasmine makes really good money, but I make really good money. And so it was just like, it was more fair.
We both equally own the home. We did a joint tenancy, which basically means that 100% of the home belongs to each of us. If something were to happen to one of us, the other person will then solely own the home. And we had to make that decision early on.
It's untraditional, but like you take much bigger risk when you're like falling in love than like getting married to someone who you've known for maybe 3 or 4 years.
Prospective homebuyers have had to get really, really creative in order to get their foot in the door of homeownership today because they face 2 really big hurdles. The first is that down payment, which has ballooned as prices have risen. And the second is that monthly payment. This is where mortgage interest rates are taking a bigger and bigger bite out of what your monthly payment is. We've seen mortgage interest rates more than double since the pandemic. That's contributing to your monthly payment rising by $900 to $1,000 now compared to just a few years ago.
14% of buyers co-bought with a friend in 2023. In 2025, about 5% of buyers co-bought with a friend.
Mortgage interest rates are now 6 to 7%. The barrier to entry for home ownership is that much higher.
On top of that, other monthly housing costs like insurance, maintenance, and property taxes are rising faster than household incomes. Gen Z and millennials are also waiting longer to get married than previous generations. With today's median age of a new homebuyer at 40 years old, it is taking longer for younger generations to access the wealth-building potential of homeownership. But not if they team up with a friend.
Hello, welcome to our home in New York.
Do we co-bought together?
Gilbert and Kwame purchased their home in New York City when they were in their mid-20s.
Individually, seems like we're kind of being priced out of the market, and so getting together to actually pull out money together was our best strategy.
We co-bought our home for $730,000 in 2023.
So this house has 3 different units. Kwame and I live in one of the units. The other 2 units, we give it out for rent. So our monthly mortgage is a little bit north of $5,300. Subsidizing that with our rental income, the remainder, Kwame and I just split it right down the middle.
They also took advantage of a Federal Housing Administration loan as first-time homebuyers, allowing them to pay a minimum 3.5% of the down payment.
From the very start, we knew that this purchase would yield the most return after we both move out. And so if life happens, say for example, Kwame gets married, I get married, and for one reason or the other, we have to move out, I guess that's when the real investment starts. So it's not technically the end of the world. This is just a part of the process.
One thing about me and Gilbert is like we kind of do everything together. We go to church together, we play golf together.
Was that good or not?
So it's been more so an easier journey being roommates as well as business partners.
Please use a good shot. There's a lot of bloopers. Ooh, I do this all day.
For Jendai and their friends in Portland, Oregon, the search wasn't going well before they joined forces.
The housing market wasn't working in our favor. Our friends had moved to Portland. Randomly, we're like, what if we just looked at this multifamily home? After months of searching, we ended up finding a home that actually fit all of our needs.
Jendai bought a duplex with their partner and another couple in 2024.
And so it was kind of like oh my gosh, this magical moment has appeared. And it would have been cheaper than if we had bought 2 homes separately. We purchased it for $735,000. We put down $40,000, and then our monthly mortgage payment, including taxes and all that, $5,700. So divided by 2, about $2,850 per household. We do 50-50 per side of the duplex. So we all equally own 25% of the house.
So how do you decide if co-buying is right for you?
I just think that people have to do some self-examination and decide, what is my lifestyle? When am I happy? When am I unhappy? And based on that, decide whether this type of arrangement suits them.
With co-buying, there can be many more unknowns to navigate as the years go by.
I think it's really important that you put everything in writing before you enter into a co-buying agreement.
I often tell people that they should think of the agreement as a form of insurance. Why do you buy, let's say, fire insurance? Probably you're never going to have a fire. In the unlikely event that you did have a fire, you really would want to have the insurance. There's a lot of people out there without agreements. What's the problem with that? Well, they're just taking more risk.
Jendai and their fellow co-buyers are currently in the process of working on a legal agreement.
We kind of came together and decided on a few things that we wanted to make very clear. Chores, those rotate. If something happens to one of us, or if someone decides that they want to separate from their partner, or I'm done living the duplex life, I want a single family home, what does that mean for their side? What does that mean for the finances? What does that mean for any of the structures that we've put in place so far? The legal stuff, like getting lawyers involved, is genuinely just to make sure that someone else is aware of the agreement.
So we have a verbal understanding.
Yeah.
We will get around.
We're gonna
to
do
getting it on paper.
We're gonna do that. It's just
there are 5 kids.
There are 5 kids and a lot of jobs, and we're doing a lot of stuff. But that is like the plan. Yes. And we already have our verbal agreement, and we know what we want. We've already talked about it, and so it's just about getting it on paper. Yes. So yeah. But we do think you should do that. We think that is a great thing.
You should definitely do that.
Everyone should get legal agreements. Get it legal and notarized. It's important.
Yes.
So, are we going to see more people co-buying with friends?
The American dream of homeownership is still alive and well. All signs point to co-buying sticking around. We anticipate that mortgage rates are going to stay higher for longer. We anticipate home prices are going to stay higher for longer. We are not predicting any kind of market crash. So as long as the barriers to entry of homeownership remain high, I think we're going to see people come up with these new creative ways to make it work for them.
Prince Charming doesn't have to show up. I mean, nice if he does, but you can't put your life on hold waiting for that. We're definitely co-parents, platonic co-parents. It's 5. I got 5 kids.
Yes, I have 5 kids.
Like, we're in it together.
Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. I wish I had thought about it sooner. The community alone is the biggest piece of all of it. And it's going to keep growing. I can't wait to see how big our village gets.
I would say my biggest reward is growing alongside my brother. We've been through a lot of different challenges, but we were never phased and we are still thriving.
We were definitely phased. We were definitely phased. Yo.
So, would you co-buy a home with a friend? Let us know in the comments.